10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sand King.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Dark Seer.
Dire team pick. Ten.
Vengeful Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Juggernaut.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
And you guessed it, it is that time again, back for game number 1 of our last series. KOD League season number 4 group stage. It has been a long and arduous journey for all of our teams here, and it is coming to an end right here and right now. And that is not a pun related to one of these team names. It is End versus FDL. I'll tell you a little bit about the situation in the standings. FDL absolutely must win both games here to make it into the playoffs. If it goes 1-1, End will make it in to that 4th spot. If it goes 2-0 for FDL, they will take the spot over End. So lots at stake here for both teams, and I personally would like to eat a steak right now, but unfortunately I have to cast this match, and I'm sure that is going to be a lot of fun for all of us and hopefully some fun for the team. So let's get right into our draft. And they pick up the Darkseer and Venge to start this one out. Mr. has been absolutely stand out on the Darkseer for quite a few of the matches, and when End win, it is with Mr. on the Darkseer. So a lot of teams have been doing very well with that hero in the KOD League group stage so far. We'll see if that success continues for the hero. And also going with the Vengeful Spirit in their draft, so they could possibly do some very good damage output. Also have the Magic Missile and a good swap. We saw some fantastic swaps in our last game between FTL and Wheel. Meanwhile, FDL taking a look at their draft, they pick up the Sand King and Juggernaut Lifestealer banned out by End as soon as they see that Sand King come out, and the Sammy Boy Meepo is going to get banned out as well. Do not want to face up against that, but Sammy Boy still has quite a few heroes to go with. End will pick up a Weaver though, something that's going to increase the minus armor effect that they have here. And the Weaver also very elusive. The Sand King is going to be a big part in trying to shut this bug down.
10 seconds.
Can get some very good initiations with the Burrow Strike. We'll see if it's going to be a Sand King, which is a lot of fun to say, or if we're going to have him on another hero and keep the Sand King as a support or a core. We will just have to see as this draft goes on for FDL. They definitely tend to run the Sand King as a support, but surprises can come out of the draft. And still going for their standard bans of the Warlock and the Abyssal Underlord. Do not want to have to deal with that hero that can farm excessively well and just make his team so survivable with the Atrophy Aura. That just seems to be extremely broken in the numbers. I think that a lot of teams, they see that it decreases damage by that much, and it's not just damage towards the Abyssal Underlord, it's damage in that aura. So definitely a good idea to take that out of the draft just because of how strong it can be for the team that first picks it.
Drow Ranger.
And very interesting that they get the Draw Ranger this late in the draft. This means that we're going to get a support Weaver from them, outputting a huge amount of damage as long as he doesn't get caught out. FDL getting the Disruptor before the Weaver, and that makes a lot of sense that End would be able to pick up the Weaver now with the bug being in the support position. So the Disruptor counter to it isn't really as potent as it might be as if the Weaver were a core. And also picking up the Draw Ranger here, which makes the Weaver support very easy to run, putting out a huge amount of damage, and also pushing the towers down very quickly. That's something that End have had a bit of difficulty with in the past, but if they can get their tri-lane off to a good start, which they will have a huge amount of damage there with the double Aura and Weaver Swarm, they do have a lot of tools there to be able to do well, which could create some space for Sammy Boy, which is really the recipe for success for End. They need to make sure that Sammy Boy gets a good start and is able to carry the game somewhat, because he's been really a big catalyst for a lot of their victories. They do check a lot of the boxes that they need to in order to do well here. And FDL will see if they can tick some boxes that they need to win. I haven't had a whole lot of success in the group stage so far, as has been shown by their record. They did come in automatically 0-2, but they did take a game off of Freedom. Not sure how serious that was for Freedom, but they do have the opportunity to be able to make it into the group stage ahead of End. So this is just a battle for last right now, and to have the advantage at the moment, but Team FDL definitely could take it away from them if they are not careful. FDL going for the Centaur, giving them the initiation that they could possibly need to stop these pushes. Also a lot of tankiness that End are going to have some trouble going up against early. Tinker would be picked up for End. Steam notifications, but most of the time when people message me on Steam,
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not really good at getting them, but
5 seconds remaining.
Usually they're not important anyway. Just people be like, "Oh, you want to play?" Like, "No, I can't play. I'm casting." Like, "Oh, that sucks. I want to play." Okay. I wish I had friends. I'm just kidding. That was a little bit morbid. But in any case, End, they take the Tinker away from FDL. We did see an interesting strategy from them in the last match, trying to stop Wheel from pushing, and eventually Wheel just got sick of the shit and just went right for the Juggler, taking a couple of kills on FDL and then pushed the lanes out, got it off of their side of the map, and eventually won the game from there. We'll see if they can employ somewhat of the same strategy up against FDL. They do have a Juggernaut that can just spin and TP away, so he does have the opportunity to split push and possibly get away with it. And don't have any... Well, they do have the swap, so that does go through the magic immunity. They have to make sure that they don't use it too early. And FDL go with a sniper.
Team pick.
So they'll put him in the mid lane to play against whatever end get. That might limit their heroes a little bit, see who sniper does well or doesn't do well against. But end do have the last say here. Looking at all these heroes, that sniper definitely does throw a wrench in the works, and the centaur allows them to pick up this hero just because they'll be able to get him out of some bad situations. So the centaur, when he uses a charge, if sniper gets gone on, as long as he's not stunned, which looking at end, they really don't have a huge amount of stuns. They just have Venge with a little bit of control in the Darkseer with the vacuum. The sniper could definitely get out of those situations, and we also saw Eric Dong, or 747 for Duop, do very well with the sniper, even going with the Shadow Blade Silver Edge combo early. Silver Edge very strong against the Centaur in this match, and we might see Footsie go for that very early if he manages to get enough farm, or if the Centaur becomes more of a problem, just because it's a lot easier to deal with the Centaur when you take that return out. So we are down to our last pickup here for N, taking quite a while to figure out what Sammy Boy is going to play here.
10 seconds.
He's really the cornerstone of this end lineup. And they're actually going to go with the Medusa here. Drow Ranger Medusa, a very old combo. We'll have to see how it works against the sniper. Won't be able to do a huge amount of damage to her, but that shrapnel could get mighty annoying for her. We'll have to see how it goes for him as we move into game number 1 of this 2-game set between End and FDL. This is to decide who stays and who goes. If End win even one, they make it into the playoffs. If FDL win both, they will be the ones who leapfrog over End to get into that last final spot in the COD League Season 4 playoffs. So they are playing for the big leagues here and trying to work out the kinks in their lineup to see if they can pull out the victory here.
5 seconds remaining.
So here we go into game number 1, and we are not having a pause just yet. We are all in the match, smoothly loading in. And we are going to get a TP out immediately from SYC, playing the Sand King. He's just got the Windlace and the Tangos, putting out the Observer Ward. And Trey is going to be doing the same thing on the other side of the map with the Vengeful Spirit. So we will be making our way into the lane CC, seeing if he can carry his way on the sniper. He has done well on the hero before, staying out of trouble, staying in the fights. His Magnus was not too great in the last match, missing out on a very crucial RP that might have turned things for the better for FDL, but unfortunately could not get that one, and we'll see if he's able to do a little bit better this game. Bounty runes should be each team taking their own here. Got the golden centaur horns on Mad, and he'll be jumping around dancing as well. Seems like a silly song, honestly, that he is dancing to. Not sure if it's something that I could get my moves on for. So if we look at the lanes, they're gonna send Mister down to bottom by himself. We got the tri-lane at top as expected from End. They're going to try to make sure that they don't lose too much in the lanes. We're just to secure some farm for the Drow Ranger, very important for them. Alright, so hopefully we should be ready to go here. We'll get back into the match. I'll have to see how Sniper does against Medusa. How this Sniper does against Sammy Boy, because Sammy Boy is generally a very proficient mid player and can do quite well for his team. Generally carrying them out of the mid position. So here we go, CCNC getting the much better block against Sammy Boy. And he's going for headshot first. Working with the creep wave aggro, Sammy getting the first deny over him. And we're going to have a wraparound on the Mad, trying to make sure that he goes down before he even gets a chance to get started here. Return already leveled up, and look how much damage he already takes from that. Not fun for him at all to go against this. Trey going forward, and that health is going to be taken away from him as well. Centaur is going to be healing up. It's just not a good look at all for End as they try to harass out the Centaur. And Misters, he's going to be the one inside the jungle. He hasn't gone for an Iron Town. He's just trying to farm up those creeps. While Footsie, someone trying to just get the last hits in the top lane. Creep wave already doing some damage to the Centaur, but he's returning it to them as well. Now SYC is going to come in here. Mister's got the Iron Shell on him. He is going to get scoured out, but it's a little bit too late. They're not going to catch him farming the creep camp there. Just not really wanting to be in this lane at all. And this is something that End or the meme regime in the past have done quite a bit. They just send their off lane into the jungle for a while. They know that they're not going to help them out a whole lot. They don't want to put them into danger. So Mister's just going to stay close to the creep wave, hoping that FDL don't get too many denies, but they are already going through. Pei is getting rather low to the Iron Shelled creep though. We'll just heal up though. Doesn't want to worry about it too much. Sammy Boy does not want to stand underneath the shrapnel. Trying to keep himself safe with the mana shield, so it's just gonna be a bit of a push and pull in the mid lane. She could come through with a Shikuchi. Mad does have the stomp available first. G starts to take a lot of damage, and well, she already takes a lot from that. Now Trey finds Mad over to the side, and he could easily go in with the stomp, putting some damage out on the Trey. This is just a lane that's so difficult to zone the Centaur away from. Something where the team depends on getting the physical attacks out. Just very difficult against the shrapnel. She having to be very careful against Mad, and he knows that the Shikuchi is down, looking for a stop. Nice magic missile is going to keep him away from here. They're also going to spend the swarm for it. Footsie forced to move forward. He'll throw out the frost arrow, but that's the only thing he's going to do there. Meanwhile, Juggernaut's just been left to his own devices at bottom, free to keep the creep equilibrium. Support's free to rotate around the map. We are going to see a disruptor at mid, and we'll see if the caustic finale can actually kill off any of these creeps. Random pause. Centaur's also gotten over to the neutral camps here, so he'll be able to farm those up well. Mister doesn't really want to mess with the Darksphere at all here. So we'll get back into it. SYC does take both of those creeps, making it very annoying for Mister. He just wants to get a little bit of farm. Stanking finds the Invis rune. We'll be walking around with it, and Mister starts to put the damage onto SYC, chasing him down with the Iron Shell. SYC putting the Bob Ross tree down to slow him down a little bit. Another Iron Shell onto Mister, and there was a nice glimpse taking the Vengeful Spirit back over to the top lane, but now SYC chased down by Mister and G. Another surge available. Mister's going to be chasing him down with the Iron Shell, looking for a little bit more. They need a karate chop, but they need a little bit more than that, and the healing word is going to keep SYC alive for now. So the combination of a good glimpse on Vengeful Spirit and the healing word will keep Sand King alive for now. May not happen later. Now Trey's getting caught out. There's a stomp. Lots of damage. Kinetic Field is going to keep him there. Matt's taking a lot of damage. He might get this turn around on him, but the first blood is going to go his way. Now Footsie trying to do some damage. Disruptor's keeping him out of the way. He might just decide to go and focus on the Disruptor, but he's taking a lot of damage from the creep wave. Now Matt coming around the side, and Footsie's going to go for it. Stomp doesn't end up happening. Sand King wanting to go forward. Kinetic Field is going to help him get the vision that he needs to find the kill. Styling on top of the Jaw Ranger. And he will be able to get the ward before it expires. That is a value sentry. So clearly the better fight going to FDL, taking both the first blood and the Jaw Ranger kill. Now Darkseer starts to make his way back over towards the lane. Double Ion Shell onto the creep wave. Juggernaut still takes 2 of those denies. Don't want to stick around there too long though. Making his way back over to the lane. Take a little bit of damage from the Ion Shell. It's forced away. Those Ion Shells will hurt as time goes on, especially when there were 2 of them up. Darkseer putting the Ion Shell back on himself. CCNC doing very well in the mid lane up against Medusa, absolutely trashing her right now. And not really setting their Sammy Boy up for an easy lane. Medusa really needs to get some farm up. Hopefully he can come back in the mid lane. He will be going phase boots first. Interested as always in the build of the Medusa. What she decides to go here. No, I did watch a lot of newbie players go like, I don't know, it was like Power Treads, Maelstrom or something on Medusa. It wasn't really the best build. Now Footsie could get caught out. Got a Sand King going around the side, and he actually steps forward. Kinetic Field, he manages to get away from it, but the stomp, the double edge, that's a dead Jaw Ranger lying down in the top lane. She shouldn't be taking a nap, she should be trying to fight, but this gets forced out by FDL. And they did not really see that coming. Trey is the one left to win at top, and SYC might go for a Burrow Strike around the side. They have another stomp available on Matt as well as the double edge level 3. They might get Footsie again actually. SYC, he could get through the tree. Sand King ready with another Kinetic Field as well as a Glimpse. They can't cut that tree for SYC. Oh no. Trey's going forward. He's going into the trees. He might be forced to TP away. He'll put the ward down, and no way. He's glimpsed. SYC finding a kill there. Now G does step forward, but there is a sentry ward there to see him in case he actually did want to get aggressive on the FDL, and Mad will heal up with the Urn of Shadows as well as the Tranquil Boots for him. G says, please be careful to Footsie. Footsie still wants to farm though. He says, nah, get off my back, dude. Gotta get the creeps. SYC ready for another one at top, and this tri lane hasn't really gone the best at all for End. He could go around the side here, and we have the gank at mid. Sammy Boy looking to turn this around, losing all of the mana from the mana shield, and CCNC. There's the charge board as well. Do they even want to use the assassinate? They're not going to. They'll just take him down with auto attack. Sand King finding the kill there. Meanwhile, at top, but seeing a lot of trouble. G trying to put some damage in from the backside. They're taking care of the swarm for now, putting the damage out onto Matt. They should be able to find him. He doesn't get the stomp off. Can Footsie stay alive? That's going to be a pop on the classic finale. Footsie dies to that, as well as the Sandstorm, and she doesn't have any detection for the Sand King. My, how the tables have turned here. No mana at all, but the Disruptor's getting here as well. But they will not be able to find a kill onto the Disruptor. Disruptor comes around the side. Now G, he's been silenced. That is not a fun time for a support Weaver. He gets out of it. The auto attack's still going in. G trying to get away. He's so very low. That negative urn charge, they don't find him. Just not going to be quite on the mark with the stomp. Couldn't find the vision for him. And End can't really find anything on the map right now. Ion Shell thrown out, but it's not really doing a whole lot. Mister. They put it onto the Radiant dominated creep. Right now FDL looking good in game 1. Sammy Boy with a double damage rune can do well with that on the mid lane, but CCNC is still getting a lot of last hits. Sammy Boy's taking a lot of mana damage as a result of that mana shield being up. Now here comes the tomato creep. Fuzzy no trouble. Burrow strike onto him as well. There's the stun, but the spin comes around from the backside. Fuzzy doing some work. He's going to go so fast as well. He's going to find more. Double kill for Tay. Stan King getting in there as well. G trying to back away. Maybe he'll be able to get a Shikuchi out. He knows the swarm is following. They get some vision with the kinetic field. He's going to be stuck there. There's the tomato creep. They need some vision of him, and they are going to have it. He goes through the trees again. Can he get the Shikuchi out? Not going to happen. Triple kill for Tay on the bottom lane. That's 4 dead there. We're only 9.5 minutes in, and FDL already finding so many kills. Sammy Boy not going to be a factor at all right now on his Medusa. He needs a lot more time to get some farm, and the early game has just not been too good to him at all. Mr. just trying to get any kind of farm that he can. Wasn't involved in that bottom fight at all. He'll push out the lane with the double ion shell, but he's got to get involved sometime. He just needs time to get some levels. Hasn't been able to get involved at all due to that. Sammy Boy does have quite a bit of damage, up to 134 so early in the game with the phase boots. Sniper, he is just 84. Smoking on the backside, maybe looking for the Dusa kill. She doesn't have the mana shield up. Got some heroes going around the side. They're gonna actually be going to the other side of the river. Sammy Boy doesn't have the mana shield up, and that might make him pay. Burrow strike from the backside. He doesn't get a chance to get up. There's an epicenter on top of him as well. They'll let him get the mana shield up, but it doesn't matter at all. He doesn't have nearly enough survivability at this time of the game. FDL find another one on the mid lane and will try to push in top, but there's only so much they can do here. They think that they've got to take some towers with Footsie, but their early game is just not nearly strong enough for this. G going around the side, possibly putting some damage on the CCNC. He'll get the swarm out. CCNC forced back. Lots of damage from the Weaver. He's just not been able to be too effective here. There's a charge forward. Stackstorm doing the work. Stop in the middle of it. Mister's been caught out. Again, vacuum out on the Stan King. Mad looking right at the Medusa, but he's going to turn away and look at the Darks here. Now they will be able to find a kill on the Mad, who was on a bit of a kill streak over at mid. Nice time lapse away from CCNC. Manages to not get killed by the Assassinate. But G is rather low as a result of this. Now some damage at top. They don't really have the most amount of control here. Magic Missile could help get the kill, but the Disruptor won't be in range. Juggernaut currently at the top of the net worth. He is farming up so much. 3-0-1 so far as well. He'll be finding the illusion rune for himself. G trying to put out a little bit of damage from the high ground, but there's only so much that he can do. For 3 levels into Shikuchi, Mad going around the side, and she knows that there are a lot of personnel here for FDL. That will be the first tower of the game going their way against an N squad that are supposed to be pushing a little bit better than that. Now G could get caught out. That's a Shikuchi available to get him away from danger, getting back towards his own team. Footsie is farming up inside the jungle because he's just sick of being in the lane. He'll be going for his Helm of the Dominator first, but it's going to take so long for him to build that up. Very low on the net worth. Meanwhile, the Dusa, she's looking for a Dragon Lance. But they are just trying to get some subsistence level items, while FDL, they're already going for the big guns. Yasha soon for Juggernaut. SYC nearly with the blink. He got a headdress even on the Disruptor. He's going for his mechanism, blink into the Roshan pit, thinking that, and they're going to have to be making some kind of play. They haven't seen the Drow Ranger on the map at all, but she doesn't even have close to the amount of gold that she needs to even take that. Center also has his blink dagger, which I guess was shown off in the last fight because he is very openly displaying it on the map right now. Centaur, definitely a good way to deal with Weaver, who is trying to get a little bit more survivable with the Urn of Shadows and the Chainmail. Getting some last hits over the trees. She will try to do a lot with a little as this Weaver. Going with the aggressive style support. Sammy Boy He will get the Mystic Snakes off. Meanwhile, on the top lane, nice swap out on the Weaver, getting him away from the sector, and he'll be able to get the time lapse off, but lots of damage out on the Trey. They're not going to be able to deal with it, and Mad will TP out. There is no one here to stop him. He will go around the side, trying to put some damage onto the Stand King Disruptor. The tower gets killed. Iron Shell doing a lot of damage to Stand King. Shikuchi will come through. Can the healing ward do enough? Spin taking down G. He can't find the kill. Now there's a wall. Mister, he's going to get hit with the Omni Slash. It is just death left and right for End. And Footsie, he knows he's got to get away from here right now. Wasn't really to be able to... He wasn't able to be involved in the last play at all, and CCNC very silently pushing in the mid lane. Not helping his team out at all, but at this point it doesn't really matter. They don't need him. Footsie could get caught out. That's going to be the blink, the stomp, the double edge, the kinetic field, and Footsie again taken out. Way too far up, not giving the respect that FDL desire here. Now, End go to bottom, but they've been scoured out again by the Observer Ward, and it might be a trap. Burrow Strike being charged up. There's the blink, looking for the Burrow, not on the mark. G, he's taking a lot of damage here. He has the time lapse available, but has decided not to use it. That's just going to be the Vengeful Spirit going down, though, and a little bit of farm for Stand King, as he'll take the Beetle off of his Schlong. Because that's very clearly where they go. I have no idea why they go there. Weaver is a very inappropriate beetle or bug or whatever he is. Mad's going for the war cry, and he's picking up a TP from the shop. CCNC taking another tower off the map. Looking at this G, he's maybe going to try to take down an Alpha Wolf, but that is a task that's a little bit too hard for him, especially when he doesn't use the Medallion of Courage on it. CCNC finds another tower. Maybe pushing for a tier 2 soon, pulling a wheel. Maybe taking a page out of their book as they are still pushing this tier 2. Not with a lot of people, and CCNC really is not going to do a huge amount of damage to it. He just attacks from very far away, so the tower can't kill him. G, maybe going for the Shikuchi through SYC. He's got the blink out, but he's not going to be able to use it. Blink, actually swap in. That was a very short range swap as Weaver gets caught out by a Stack Storm. Just one hit by the Sand King and Weaver is dead. And we're at least able to get a kill on the Sand King, but that's still just a disruptor and it's not going to make that huge of a difference. We look at this graph, is about 15,000 at 17 minutes for FDL. Just a huge lead for them. Mad waiting over here to the side. There is not a whole lot of vision for End, and G will just chase Mad away. He'll get the blink out. He's still wanting to go forward. FTL taking all the tier 1s away from End, just waiting for the next combo to come up. Meanwhile, G, he's found Tay, but who has found the other? Tay is just doing way too much damage to him, going Manta style first. Could be good against the Drow Ranger silence. Now Stan King gets the glimpse. There's the stomp right on top of him. Burrow Strike is there as well. Mister has no chance at all. They're gonna look for more as well. G's hanging out here in the Shikuchi. He'll try to stay in the trees. There's no vision of him. He's in that nice little pocket, and he'll Shikuchi out. I love me some pocket. Gotta get that pocket. Sammy Boy, he's gonna get spun down at top, and he'll TP away. They can't really do anything about him at this point. Not really looking good for End at all, but they're not the team, they're not the type to just give up. G, right next to Mad, he misses the swarm. Mad will get slowed down, but now he uses the charge to get away. There's the Burrow Strike, the epicenter on the 2. Stackstorm is going to be zoning out the Vengeful Spear. She decides that she wants a little bit of the pain as well. Nice triple vacuum, and these guys are just so full of pain. Mister trying to get out. Sammy Boy does show up to the fight, and well, there's just me glimpse back, trying to kite the Medusa Stone Gaze. SYC going forward, doesn't even have enough mana for a Burrow Strike, but he's going to chase Sammy Boy all the way back to the base nonetheless. FDL absolutely relentless in that one. We have 2,000 gold going their way. It's really not fun at all for End here. outscored 24-4. We're 19 minutes in. This tier 2 already going down very quickly, and they are not going to give up anytime soon. She just wants a little bit of vision rather, putting out the wards, giving some information about what FDL are doing. Only one tier 2 tower remains, and N will start their way up there, but CCNC, he doesn't really seem too interested in going anywhere else. He's got the Shadow Blade up on him. Disruptor's gone 9-1 and 22, involved in a ton of kills. 9-1 and 12 rather. I was wondering why he would have 22 assists when we only have 24 kills. Now SYC finds the burrow strike out on the G. There's the Static Storm G. Nice swap away by Trey, keeping him alive for now, but he's spending those swaps every single time to keep the Weaver alive. Now I've got the Blink by Mad, looking for a Stomp, could not quite find it. Mister, he's going forward. Stomp is going to be off the mark. Mister's moving too fast. There's going to be a glimpse back, but it's a little bit over to the side. Now Tay, he's way too far in, but now we have a triple burrow strike. There's the double edge onto a few. G taken so low. Footsy's being forced back. He cannot survive here. Another assassinate available. CCNC is just looking for his target. That is rather low. Can they find anything else here? G, he's just trying to limp back to base. And that is exactly what End are doing right now, limping all over the map. Now here comes the base push. Medusa trying to hold out anything that she can, needs a little bit more of her team in order to make some kind of a difference here. She does have a Yasha, but it's just not going to be enough for now. The base defense is not going to be even close to as good as it should be. FDL, he takes a little bit of damage from the Mystic Snake, and Medusa's going to force him out for now. Push can continue top if FDL want to. As soon as they have that healing ward, they might decide to go for some more towers. CCNC at bottom, chased away by Sammy Boy. Neither can really do too much to the other, unless CCNC gets some sustained damage out on the Medusa, and he might decide to just turn this around. Goes in with the shrapnel, forces Medusa away. That's going to be the charge in and the epicenter. Sammy Boy in trouble. He'll use the Stone Gaze, but he's just out of everything. SYC force ties himself forward, keeps the epicenter on to Sammy Boy, and again makes the game very difficult for him. Smoke out by Matt. It is action all over the place. They're going to be looking for the aggression in the dire side jungle. Their vision here isn't all that great, but they are going to see the Weaver. They don't, well, that's just a vengeful spirit rather. He was Shikuchiing elsewhere, and he's going to see Tay rather. Tay doesn't have the Manta style up, and he might, yeah, he's actually gotten killed there. Nice little kill for N to have, but FDL, they're going to get back in. There's the Centaur Blink, Stomp, and the Static Storm, putting a lot of pain on the Footsie. And CCNC, he's still doing this thing where he pushes in bottom all by himself. Feeling pretty confident with the Shadow Blade. There is no detection here on the heroes at all. We have the wrap around from the backside. Okay, Sentry Ward is there and looking for a kill. Can they even chase down CCNC? They need more control. Vacuum back underneath the Sentry. CCNC gets the charge away, and they don't quite get the damage that they need to. The Shadow Blade is up in 12 seconds, and Mister cannot find the kill. Meanwhile, FDL take down the tier 2 in top, so the shrines are now available for FDL to take here. FDL keep putting the aggression out on the end. Stan King looking for the vision that he needs to get a glimpse back on the Mister, but he's not going to find it just yet. He really just wants to push this lane in, maybe so that they can get the shrine as well. That is a huge net worth lead for FDL. That is nearly insurmountable at this point for End, unless they can get their Medusa online and doing a huge amount of damage soon. And she's just gonna have to go for it. It's gonna have to be a rapier for her if they want to have any chance of surviving here. And the thing is, she needs a team behind her in order to do that kind of damage, because she's gonna die very quickly with this build that she's up to right now. So she needs also her team to be able to keep her alive. Needs to find the right time and place to engage, but she also needs to find the farm needed to even get to the rapier. Omni Slash to the Mr. Darkseer. Very easy kill again. Too far up in the top lane. Mystic Snake trying to keep these guys out, but Mad could very well go for the blink and stomp, but they will need the creep wave for this push. They're not going to have it right now. May just back up and go for Roshan. Probably be the better choice. Mjolnir sent out onto the illusion in the top lane. This could very easily kill the creep wave. And over at bottom we have G trying to fight against SYC. Dust is going to get used. G knows that he has the damage here. SYC though, he's got another burrow strike up in 1 second. G's already taken a lot of damage. G will go in here. SYC gets out. The Roshan also is taken, and G may be found out by Stan King, but he's going to go around the trees, actually going for the courier. He's kind of slow though, having not had any boots. Difficult for him to chase down the courier like that. He's not going to be able to find it. FDL pick up the Aegis on Juggernaut. They very quickly go through the creep wave. Tier 3 is already down. It's time for the racks. And we'll try to defend it. Mister's got to come in with the big vacuum heal. We'll get it there. There is it on the 2. But that's not going to result in anything. It just makes a Centaur illusion. And makes it so that FDL might have some difficulty pushing this in. Next vacuum up in 14 seconds. Mad going forward. He's going to dance a little bit as well. Mad will just sit there, tanking up all the damage. Still has the Crimson Guard as well. Mystic Snake gets sent out. It's going to be shared with CC&C because sharing is caring. Weaver, he's not going to be there for the courier. He just wants to make sure the creep wave never arrives at mid. But FDL say no matter, time to just go in on top. We will clear this tower instead. We may not have the tier 3 down, but we do have a lot of team fight. Medusa uses the ultimate. Couple of heroes getting turned to stone. Lots of damage from the Juggernaut. He's going to get the Aegis popped here. Can End do anything after this? Epicenter being charged up. There's the Blinken. Looking for Footsie. Lots of damage, but the Shiner's already been popped, so he is healing up here. And they're going to be holding strong on the high ground. The net worth lead is huge, but their high ground defense is also pretty good. But all of these ultimates have now been used, and the shrines are going down as well. Tay goes back to mid. Looks like he's barely taken a scratch after that Aegis got popped. Has the Ring of Aquila on him now as well. Gonna dodge the magic missile. He's going to get silenced now. He doesn't have the Manta Style to get that silence off of him. Burrow strike out onto the Weaver. They don't know that they have him. Mad just faking out the stun. Weak G getting back into it. DL, they might want to go back in here. Sammy Boy getting stunned. This is End's lifeblood. They'll switch the Vengeful Spirit for it. They can't really get into this fight at all. Footsie's taking a lot of damage from CC&C. They're going to pop the shrine, keeping him alive. Mechanism healing him up as well. G trying to get into it. They'll drop down the wall. There's the fact 1 to 3. Can they fight here? Sammy Boy needs a huge amount of damage. Burrow strike out on the Footsie, keeping himself away. G looking for some kills, looking for a little bit more. Mad gets the stomp off. Can they actually find the Centaur? He's going to get time to use the blink, and FDL only lose the disruptor in that push for the base, and they take away the melee Rex. Might be Mad though. He's going to slow down G quite a bit. Chikuchi forward. Mad, he's still got the bug on his schlong though, and G might be able to find the kill with the Chikuchi. No way! Okay, the bug just does the last little tick of damage there before the Centaur can get anything else. Double Edge doing a lot of damage to him as well. So that's actually a lot of gold for NG, taking most of it. Maybe he starts to do some big damage, and this Aghanim Scepter might be pretty good for him. Now Sammy Boy does have enough mana, or gold rather, for the Rapier. Could buy it up right now. Will he though? That is the... Oh yeah, he does. He does. It's a Rapier now for the Sammy Boy. See if this will help them to win. I mean, the Aghanim Scepter on Weaver definitely could be a big part of it, and he's only 400 gold away. They need to find some kind of farm on G, because he definitely could keep this Medusa alive. Because this means that FDL are going to have to focus a lot of their attention on him. So FDL starting to group up. They already have a lane advantage in the mid lane. At this point, the Medusa really has to be careful when she's outside the base. She needs her team to just focus in around her, looking for when they can win a team fight, because she's got to get that gold up very quickly now. It is a very intense game now for End as they pick up the rapier. They win one fight. They get what they need. FDL will keep that gold going though, and they kind of need a Silver Edge soon to deal with Mad. He will get a lot more tanky when he keeps picking up these items. He does have enough gold now for the Aghanim Scepter, and he'll get back to the base picking it up now. Is this all the Ends need in order to win the fights? I mean, that's basically a free Aegis on Medusa. FDL don't have an Aegis right now, and they're kind of stuck in the base because of this. They can't really afford to lose the Medusa ever, so if they get initiated on by FDL, it's kind of game over at that point. But they do have some tools that they need to win Sammy Boy, keeping the farm up, keeping End in this one. Creep waves will keep pushing in. I don't even know if they've revealed the rapier just yet, but they should know when they see that. They should have known when they saw that sacred relic that Medusa was going for it. Really no reason for it other than that at this point. So here come... Oh, Medusa stepping forward. Matt should definitely know about the rapier by now. After seeing the Medusa that close. Mjolnir keeps getting thrown in. And Mr. might get caught out. That's maybe the kinetic field. No glimpse is going to be used. And yeah, well, glimpse doesn't really do anything now. Way too late on that. Sammy Boy, he's just going to be a little bit BM with the mana shield, and we're gonna have a pause out now. Maybe some damage on the centaur. Footsie really can't do anything about him, and he's gotta be worried about the initiation that comes in from the backside. There's also a gem on the Sand King, so the Weaver might not be able to be as effective. Sniper's got a Shadow Blade. Silver Edge soon. This game, either it's going to end in very quick fashion and just dying, or it's going to be very close with End somehow edging it out. It's going to end very quickly. It's going to take a while. We'll just have to see who ends up coming up on top. Net worth upwards of 30,000. If this is a comeback, that would probably be one of the biggest comebacks in Dota. But I still don't really see it happening. I think that End are just way too far behind at this point, but we'll have to see. Aghanim Scepter, Rapier. These are the items for End that they really need to work behind. Sammy Boy's starting to go forward, thinking about going onto the Centaur, but it's just not a great idea right now. Some massive proportions that would be possible for this comeback, but FDL, as soon as they start to see that Rapier, they want to focus on a couple of different lanes. Focus on taking the map really away from the Medusa, so that she's gonna have to focus on more than one lane at once. So that End, they're gonna have to take a fight on two fronts. And FDL can definitely do this. Weaver can't focus on everything at once, and take a look at his positioning. He's back near his tier 4s. He can get in position with the Shikuchi to get a hero back, and this is going to be a 16-second cooldown on it. So staying alive is imperative for himself. Can't really use the time-lapse himself to stay alive anymore. Medusa not taking any damage from the Blade Melt, activated a little bit late. So, wow, this is kind of anticlimactic. because we keep having these pauses when the game is so tense. FDL are just so far ahead at this point. I don't know, I can't even talk about it right now just because the comeback is so unfathomable at this point. Just how far ahead FDL are, how much End would have to do. They haven't even taken one tower. They haven't taken one tower off the map at all. Medusa does have buyback, but it would really not matter at all. Like any of these buybacks on FDL, if the Medusa dies, it is pretty much over. Footsie will stand on top of the high ground. Sammy Boy taking those creeps down mighty quickly. I just don't know how it's going to happen. FDL can starve out End all they want and don't really have a way to get out of the base right now. And Roshan's going to be back up. They'll have an Aegis for this push. It just doesn't really seem doable for End, but I guess that kind of uncertainty is what's making FDL pause here, because they don't want to lose another fight. Even though it's probably going to take about 3 fights before End even start to make any kind of dent on the map. Alright, there's going to be the blink and the stomp in. Medusa gets a lot of the mana back, and she'll run and start doing some damage, but they're going to try to bait this out. Medusa cannot afford to be that far ahead. Because what happens when the Medusa goes that far up, it forces G on the Weaver to be able to look a little bit closer and more in danger. And really, I think what FDL have to focus on here is making sure G can't get any time lapses off. Are they putting him in the Static Storm or something like that? Because if they can take the Weaver out of the fight, that's basically a win for FDL. So SYC still taking care of the creeps in the mid lane, making sure that they push out. Ender still kept to their base. BKB soon for Drow, but she's not saving up for buyback at all. I think that Footsie knows that if anybody dies, it's probably gonna... If the Medusa dies, it's probably gonna be it. Medusa working towards the Scotty. She does have buyback. Footsie just standing on the high ground. CNC ready to go. Okay, SYC slightly misses the 4-step forward now. And if you look at the vision and don't really see anything, FDLC inside the End base, CNC very quickly working through the creep wave. They're pushing in all of these lanes and being very conservative themselves. Roshan will be taken by Stan King and Tay. Tay probably picking up the Aegis here. He's got an Abyssal Blade and he's working towards his Butterfly. He's not saving for buyback. He's just going to go for some big items. If he can get a Butterfly, that's even a chance that he manages to kill off the Medusa while she can't hit him. $27,000 gold on the Juggernaut, and that is basically the total net worth of Footsie and Sammy Boy put together. He's just got a ridiculous amount of gold, some very expensive items, and he might just go for Butterfly before he even starts to push this in. He's not got the Aegis. They put that one on CCNC. CCNC could have a Monkey King bar soon. And FDL have a lot of insurance right now. Even if they lose a fight, they probably don't even need buybacks just because it's so difficult for End to push in at this point. It takes so long for End to reach the base. So FDL have a huge advantage. They don't need to keep buybacks up. And just one slight misstep by End, and that would be the game. Sammy Boy going forward. Maybe SYC goes in here. Gonna have to be careful. Sammy Boy taking a little bit of harass as a result of that. Mad seems to be ready. Again, they have to be careful of the Weaver. Butterfly picked up for Juggernaut. That might be the chance that FDR are looking for. Tay goes to the high ground, or he'll send in the Illusions rather. The Illusions will die kind of quickly, but the Butterfly's already been picked up. And CCNC already going to work on the tower. Meanwhile, other lanes, and they're forced to keep these lanes pushed out. Super creeps on the mid lane, going for the range racks. Okay, Burrow Strike slightly off the mark on the Sammy Boy. Very important to keep an eye on him. But FTL, they will start to work onto the tier 3 top. Sending in the illusion, sending in the centaur. Mister can hardly do anything about it. Meanwhile, at bottom, here comes the Burrow Strike. Medusa's low. There's going to be the time lapse, keeping him alive. Manta the style pop by him. How fast they just die, though. That was literally everything used. Well, except for the stone gaze. CCNC will get the tower. We're very close to it. This is what? 2 health? 44 health? Figure out illusions will take it down. He just tries to get them out, and he's already taken a lot of damage. They cannot afford to lose him. Mister goes forward, misses the vacuum. There's a static storm. They will get away for now. Mister's taking a lot of damage. CCNC going forward. That's going to be a charge. And that's a Burrow Strike out onto the Medusa. G's staying alive for now. Sammy Boy taking care of the vision on the high ground. She needs to heal up. Didn't use the shrine before. They're just on a razor wire right now, and they don't really even have the ability to fight even 3 members of FDL. Charge is down. Possibly could be where End can take a fight, but Mad takes literally no damage from Drow Ranger. End get out of the base a little bit. There's going to be a TP in from the Medusa, abandoning the top lane. She goes in on Mad, but she's not even being able to hit him all that much. And G, he goes for CCNC, putting out some damage. He's got a time lapse on himself. He'll be able to use it away before the stack storm comes through. Lots of damage still by the sniper. Just doing some harass to him, and CCNC will go for it anyway because he still has the Aegis. Guardian Greaves getting him back up. He'll go for the range Rex. SYC finding the Weaver. That's who they needed to find, and G's going to be the one to die. He doesn't have buyback either. Vacuum on the 3. Where's the Medusa? Where's her damage? Mister's going to end up dying. Footsie, he pushes him away with the silence, but that's a blink in. BKB used, but it doesn't matter. Physical damage is 2 in from CCNC. Here comes Sammy Boy. He's got the rapier, but it doesn't matter at all. That will be GG, and cannot handle FTL. They tried to just force it out as long as they could, but that was going to be it. And it seems like FTL were right to not allow Sammy Boy back on their team, or on their team.